Hey everybody, Hick Hardware here. This is part 5 of our OpenClaw on Strix Halo series. There are 6 parts in this, so we are almost through it. In this one, we are going to do backups. We're going to ensure that our backup works by deleting our OpenClaw folder and then restoring it, and then go over a few maintenance things. So I'm going to be following this guide here. This will be linked in the description of the video, but I'm going to spend most of my time in Termius. So that is my SSH manager, and I have SSH'd into my OpenClaw machine, Halbert, and I'm going to be running some commands, and all of these commands are in my guide. They're also in the OpenClaw backup docs, so you can also reference those if you want. But the first thing we're going to do is basically update or back up our OpenClaw folder. And real quick, going back to the browser, this is what is in your .openclaw folder. And when you run OpenClaw backup create, you're going to capture this entire directory. And there are some important caveats. So if your system goes down and you lose your system, the backups do not cover things outside of that folder. So if you have SSH keys, if you have aliases, if you've set up systemd services, if you have GPU stuff, that is not going to be saved. You're just backing up OpenClaw. So you'll need other methods in order to back those things up. Okay, let's jump into Termius again, this time for real. And we're going to run some commands. So we're going to create a backup directory, and this is just mainly for the demo purposes. You should be following best practices, which is 3-2-1, which means you definitely don't want to store your backups, and you only want to have one back. You don't want to only have one backup, and you definitely don't want to store it on the system that you're backing up. So it's actually really easy to create a backup. What you're going to do is just copy the command from the guide, and you're going to do output, and we're going to put it into that root, or not root, but the home directory backups. And we're going to do a verify at the end. So boom. Good. So we've created a backup with a timestamp, and it passed verification. So we know that we're good to go. And we can just double check by doing an ls on that folder. We can see there it is. And if you want to see what's in it, we can run that command here. We can see all the .openclaw subdirectories files. And you can verify it at any time. So if you do want to verify whether that tar file is still good, maybe you've moved it, you can run OpenClaw backup verify, and that's just going to do the verification. Now, again, but just want to iterate that you should not keep your backups on the computer you're backing up. Either put it on a USB drive, ideally follow the 3-2-1 where you have 3 copies on 2 different media, and one of them is offsite. So if you have like Backblaze or you have a Google Drive or something, you want at least 1 copy off there. You want maybe 1 on a USB drive, maybe 1 on an external hard drive. It can be painful to do that, but it's really worth it. Okay, and now what we're going to do is just run through a little demo here of us actually tearing down our folder and then restoring it. So we're on, I actually need to do an update, but we're on 328, and we can see all of our different workspace files. We could see, our cron job here. We just have the morning brief from our previous videos. And then we have our diagnostic index script, which works great. Now what we're going to do is wipe everything. If you're not comfortable doing this, that's fine. You can just watch me do it. We're going to stop the gateway. Then we're going to do rmrf, and we're going to remove that whole OpenClaw directory. So if I were to start this gateway, it would not work. And we can verify that by just saying, yep, can't access that. It doesn't exist, so it is wiped. Now, unfortunately, there's no OpenClaw backup restore. that would be great. But I guess because maybe the OpenClaw folder is now gone and we've stopped the service, it kind of doesn't make sense that there would be a restore, right? So what we're going to do is do it ourselves. And we're going to create a temporary folder for our restoration files. We'll go ahead and extract those. And then there's an extra step. You can check the manifest and make sure everything looks good. But we're going to go ahead and just copy that archive into the .openclaw folder. And we can do start. And if we want to do status as well, we can see that it is active. So we're looking good. And let's go ahead and check the version. Yep, same version. Everything looks good. Let's check the workspace files. Everything is good. Let's check to see if we have a cron job still listed. Yep, the cron job's still there. Everything works great. And we could go one step further, and if we want to go into Jack and stop our Nginx service here, we should see Uptime Kuma go red for that service, and then we should see a notification go to OpenClaw. OpenClaw will run the diagnostics and send an investigation to Matrix. So that's like a good way to verify that everything is back up and working as it should be. Thinking about other things that you can do if you want to just back up. I'll actually jump back to the browser here. I'm not going to do all these, but, and this is in the OpenClaw docs as well, but you can just back up your config. You can do everything but the workspace, like maybe you want to save a little bit of space. You can do a dry run. And then thinking about maintenance, if you need to update OpenClaw, it's always good to do a backup first, because if something goes wonky with the update, you're able to just restore with your backup. And after you update, you want to run OpenClaw Doctor. I actually found a few things that needed to be cleaned up when I ran that, so you can just run that periodically. Just make sure everything is in a healthy situation. And then after that update, you'll just run or restart. And, just some basic things. If you want to rotate your SSH keys, I rarely do this. Model cleanup. So in part 4, we did a shootout, let's say, and here is the investigation result. So everything works. We got that whole workflow just happened right now in the background. So we know our system is working. But yeah, if you want to remove some of those models, it's not too difficult to keep OpenClaw running well. So keep it updated, do periodic backups, and you should be good. So that'll be it in this video. We have one more left, and we're going to go ahead and use HTTPS and we're going to actually register a domain. Not register a domain, but we're going to use a domain that I have a certificate for, so I can do HTTPS and do something like matrix.hake.rodeo, because hake.rodeo is the domain that I have. And even for OpenClaw, we could do that as well. So right now I don't have my terminal up, but my Windows terminal up, but we have done an SSH tunnel into our OpenClaw machine. Once we get HTTPS working, we actually can just, from anywhere without the tunnel, connect to OpenClaw via HTTPS. So it simplifies things a little bit. You don't have to run that tunnel in the background. So that's going to be part 6. I think it'll be a really great way to finish up this series. There's going to be more OpenClaw stuff. One thing I'm going to cover in the future, I'm not sure when, but is using N8N instead of our scripts that we store on the Proxmox host. Because right now, OpenClaw is calling those scripts directly. It still has to SSH into Proxmox. It's still not maybe security best practices. What would be ideal is if we could totally abstract it all, where the agent for OpenClaw is interacting with N8N, and N8N can go ahead and perform anything that needs to happen and report the data back to the agent. That way we can store the credentials and we don't actually have to have the agent SSH into Proxmox. Even though we've locked down that SSH command and it can really, it would be very hard for it to break out of that. It's just one way of making it a little bit more secure. And honestly, in my mind, a little bit more organized. I like seeing things visually. So really tying in workflows to N8N, I think is like the top tier way of using OpenClaw. So I want to learn more about N8N already. I'm going to do some basic videos on OpenClaw. But anyways, I'll see you in the next video. We're going to cover a lot more. And please like and subscribe. I've got some affiliate links in the description. I'm going to be doing more. I don't like. I know I always go down these rabbit holes at the end of these videos, but I'm going to be doing more types of videos. So we're going to be doing some reviews. We're going to be doing something called State of the Home Lab, where I talk about my home lab, what I like, what I don't like. There's going to be some cool videos. So I'm excited to get more content out there. I had like a 3-month break. Life got crazy, but I'm getting back into it. And I love getting these videos out there. Hopefully they're helpful. If there's anything you want me to cover, please comment in the comment section, and I read everything and I love feedback. So anything you have for me, I'll read it. And that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one.